his name is Shah Rukh, which means king-like face. You have to make a look-alike version of a face which people adore and love for about 20-25 years now. So that was challenging.
For some reason, Maneesh was very clear he should have, curly hair, not straight hair. And I was adamant, a fan normally tries to copy the hairstyle first of the star. But I think we kind of testing it, we thought, okay, at least he looks different and looks like Shah Rukh.
Arriving at Gaurav's look was obviously a long drawn task, and a lot of research went into it. And initially, when we were trying to connect with some of the talents abroad, few of them, really senior people, they actually told us that it's not going to happen. And it, at one point, one was thinking, kya ye possible hi nahi hai? Red Chillies people, Harry, Ketan, they gave us the confidence, yaar dekho, possible to hai. We have to keep trying and do a lot of R&D.
So our idea was basically, obviously you can't completely go VFX way, computer generated. So the thing is, it has to be a mix of prosthetic as well as VFX.
And then one great thing that happened was when we connected with Greg, he took up the challenge. He said, I think it's possible.
It sounded really fun, but I was just shocked at how many days he was going to work in the young makeup. It was like 70 at the time. Usually makeups like this we do 10, 15, maybe 20 times.
With all the technicians and makeup artists and really experienced people we were talking to, they were giving us a perspective that, to make anyone look younger is kind of almost impossible. You can make anyone look older.
I think Greg also has never done, nobody's done anything like this before. It's the first time that you use prosthetics to make someone look younger. And then in different circumstances and in Indian weather, it is much more difficult.
Younger faces tend to be well toned and there's a layer of fat in it. Even if you see older pictures of SRK or even any of us, the face looks a little chubby and well toned. As you age, the fat layer goes uneven, and that's how your face skin starts showing this undulation. Okay, the smoothness is gone. So the challenge was to bring that toned face back.
The ages are apart, so that's very interesting, and I still don't know whether I will look younger than my age, which is 27, my actual age. I'm trying to look 15 in the film, so hopefully it'll work out.
Greg had to prepare the mold of Shah Rukh's face and do a lot of other stuff, the sculpting for all the pieces, and even on his end in terms of sculpting the pieces, he had to do a lot of R&D. Some things will go right, some things will go wrong. And I sent him his current pictures, and I sent him his earlier pictures. I remember I sent him a still frame of Fauji, Darya Dil, Circus, and Divana, and I told him this is the Dar. That this is the young him. So our guy, one, he has to be this young and a deformed version of the young him.
In the beginning, they asked that he be fatter. So we did that, and it was kind of lumpy, and I was just it isn't working. And so I was in my office sitting there, and I'm like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And I was looking around, I have all these heads, actors, all around in there. And I looked up and I saw Brad Pitt, and I went, wow, he's really good looking, but he's got very unusual structure here. So I tried that for Gaurav. I tried Brad Pitt's cheeks just right here.
I understand this logic of, when I see my younger picture here, I think, that my lids are heavier now. You don't realize it. But to take this lid off and get the eyes to be wider, not to make him look maniacal, but just the innocence maybe, without having to do it yourself. I think my most important aspect of making this film is sitting in a chair. This is the chair actually, yeah. This chair only. To sit in this chair for 4 to 5 hours a day. I've never done this. I've never sat 5 hours in a place unless I'm very unwell with a broken bone. I've never sat in one place. So I hated it, but I had promised myself I'll not get angry.
We've gone through many stages. The first stages we did, it was full coverage. It took 4 to 5 hours, the tests, and it was, I taped up everything with a special tape, and then I put big appliances on and a whole neck, pieces on his nose to change the shape of his nose because that couldn't match the two characters. We did plumpers in him to push out his mouth a bit here because of the jaw. And these are eyebrow pieces. Just to make his eyebrows fuller, we put these little tiny pieces into his eyebrow and then use a little pencil and really makes his brow twice as thick. So it's different because we tried to change everything on his face. His teeth, plumpers to push this out. We just tried to change everything. As we did it down and did the tests, and even Shah Rukh would mention things, you know. I had the pieces coming here and it would kind of wrinkle up, and he said no. He and everybody else wanted behind his dimples because they wanted to keep his dimples, so I put a smaller piece here right down the middle of his face, which you never do in films.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm talking about myself in third person, but if you think you look like Shah Rukh Khan, you got to have dimples. So he said, no, he doesn't have dimples. I said, no, then you can't look like Shah Rukh Khan. So then we kind of said, no, the dimples should be there, maybe lighter than mine.
And then I would go in and I'd do like a corrective makeup where I take highlight and I'd go in and where, you know, he has little shadows and things, I would go in and highlight it to bring it out. And it was pretty amazing how well it worked.
The space between the silicone and your face fills up with sweat. So you can feel some strange water in here. I mean, it's very strange. It's like a, you know, bag of water, and supposedly you're an actor and you have to be mobile, but you got one side is full of some strange feeling. You want to pull it off, man. And then you have to be very careful. You can't touch it. You can't scrape it. You do it, you have to do it for 2 hours again. Putting prosthetics and silicone on your face every day for 4 hours is the single most irritating thing in the world. Even if the results are fantastic, you don't want to do it.
The brief was very Maneesh. I mean, certain angles he needs to look like Aryan Khanna. That was very, very clear.
Okay, and once the idea of making the nose, his iconic nose, smaller came in, prosthetic on that went out of the window, because with prosthetic or any makeup you can only add, okay, you cannot reduce. So that had to be done in VFX. Fill up the areas where you feel that it's not toned.
Eyebrows we have straightened out basically, so he looks different.
The gap between his nose tip and the upper lip is a little changed or enhanced. Make the eyes bigger, sharpen the jawline, remove the difference between the prosthetic and the real skin, blend it together, put a stubble wherever is required, re-put the expressions, change the lips, remove the muscles on the neck, remove the Adam's apple. The most difficult part in the entire Gaurav setup, if you ask, is to get the nose right.
So if you see both of them together and all that, you can see exactly his nose is different.
The very first test when we did on Shah Rukh with the pieces, and we shot some footage, we came up with the idea, what if we shrink him a little?
In fact, we have narrowed his shoulders, we have straightened his shoulders out, we have got his chest inside. So, you know, if you see, it is just not that you've just done a 2D scale and shrunk it down to 2 inches smaller, no.
Yeah, I mean, if you see a 50-year-old guy and a 20-year-old guy, what changes happens in the body? I mean, the body grows in size. If you see face, I mean, a 20-year-old guy, same photo, if you see 50 years, the face grows in size. Though he's slimmer and all that, but face grows. So if you see Aryan, his face is quite bigger now compared to Gaurav. So that was the main thing. I mean, we had to shrink his face to make him look younger. Because as we are shrinking his body, in every scene, so we had to kind of scan his full body. You need some guidance exactly how much you need to scan it, because 2 inches you need to calculate wherever he's standing. So for that we had to scan his costumes so it matches and all that.
See, I won't say I was sure about that this is what I wanted. That was not like that. The thing is, this whole balance of that, he looks like him but not quite, like a lookalike, So certain things you have to maintain the resemblance also, but you have to be nahi yaar, ye wo nahi hai, I mean, not to mention Shah Rukh's patience level with that, it really takes a lot. It's quite a grueling process in that sense, not only to sit on a chair for 4 hours for makeup, but also to perform with that makeup.
But I don't know when I'm expressing a scene as Gaurav, is it working or not? Because I can't feel what I'm doing. As an actor for 25 years, sometimes I know if I've done this, I look like this, your face. But with Gaurav, I had no idea. So I didn't know if it was right or wrong. So I would just completely leave it to people to decide if it was a good shot or not.
And one big concern was that when you have, so much of prosthetic, and with a film which will have varied emotions by an actor, how do you maintain that? But I guess with all the technical support, we ended up achieving what we have. For the first time ever in the world that this kind of a technology has been applied and seems to be fairly successful.
First is, of course, the face. That has never been achieved before. Not at this scale in terms of the entire film. 1 minute, 2 minute possible in controlled lighting, one scene, not much movement. You can cheat it with light, you can cheat it with expression, you can cheat it with clothes and it's possible. But for an hour and a half in a whole film where your hero is dancing, jumping, crying, fighting, chasing, becoming evil, so those range of experience has not been done before.
He helped a lot with the makeup design. He had great ideas. We joke a lot with each other. So, I like Shah Rukh, you're my second favorite actor in the world. Who's the first? Everybody else, I just saw the beginning of the film clip, and I'm shocked how good it looks. I never thought it could look that good.
So when the first look came out, I think the biggest worry, I think most of us must have not slept that night. In the morning, I hope nobody just turns out and says, "ये तो बड़ा नकली लगता है यार," या "ये बड़ा अलग नहीं लगता है." But I think the biggest compliment we got from the VFX team's mother. They showed it to their mother apparently at night, and the mom said, "It's really nice जो तुमने काम किया और ये शाह रुख का डुप्लीकेट लाए, ये बहुत अच्छा है, ये बहुत अच्छा लिखा है तुमने."
It's a picture wrap for Gaurav.
ये मैं संभाल के रख लेता हूँ। Good job, Gaurav.
Okay, guys, another round of applause for Greg Cannom. It's a picture wrap for Greg.
In spite of you, we did a good job, huh, Greg?